Mm. Welcome back, and now we're going to be tinting our brows. For this, we'll be using the Just for Men original formula. The box will contain your instruction manual, gloves in a clear capsule, as well as your Just for Men original formula color base and the applicator with color developer. You can use whatever you feel comfortable with to mix the color base as well as the developer. What I found here was just a top off one of my cosmetic jars. So what I'm doing here is pouring the color base into the top. You can build as you go depending on how you want it. Here's the developer that I'll be pouring on top. From here, all we have to do is mix depending on how you like it. Here I used one of my old makeup brushes to use to mix the formula. I thought it was a bit light, so I started to add a bit more color base as well as the developer in it till I got it to my thickness or preference, the color I wanted on my brow, because the color do fade over time, but it does last pretty long. Okay, so I finally got it to where I like it. Now here are my brows, bare brows here. I've cleaned around the area and now I'm about to line it up. Ensure your brows are cleaned around the area and brushed in the form or shape that you like it. Mine are a little rough here, but what I usually do is go by the area closest to my nose, the middle of my eye, and also the outer corner of my eye so that my eyebrow frames my eye, if that makes sense to you. I've seen people use their nose to do the alignment. For me, it's basically the same lineup as I'm showing here. If I put the pencil by my nose to see where my eyebrow should start and an arch, that is the same location if I use my eyes. Here's my very rough markup. I did the other side off camera, but here you see. Now I'm ready to go with my dye. From you can see here, I'm drawing a rough lineup of my brow and I'll be building as I go. I sped it up a bit, not too much where you can't see how I build it, fill in any gaps that I saw or I thought may be there, and pretty much kept it in line with my marks. I have a substantial amount of brow, so it was easy for me to do my lineup. But for those of you that don't have as much as I do, you can draw your basic outline that you would like your brows to appear in and fill it in with the dye. Do a light sketch where you want your brows to appear. Here I'm using the angled brush to make sure that I'm catching each line and stroke and inputting anything that I saw, little spaces up top or to the end where my brows doesn't really reach all the way out there. I filled it in a bit. I usually like the long strokes to come in. After a while I'll be able to do that. Make sure to get really in between your brow hairs to make sure all the dye gets everywhere. If you make a mess or spill, or even after you're done filling in, do a little cleanup with wipes all around the outer area until you get it just right. Okay, first one is done. This is before and after with the dye. I went ahead and filled in my other brow off camera, and here you go. After a few minutes, my first brow is wiped off and completed. Now for the second one. You're going to be wiping it forward and backward, ensuring to get all of the dye removed from inside your brows. I really should have pinned up my hair. Really getting in the way now. But we're done. These are my brows. I love it. All completed and finished look. Nothing on them, just the dye. Your brows will last up to 7 to 10 days. with proper facial cleansing ritual and cleaning around the brow area with a Q-tip, it'll last even longer. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.